My name is Mami Kataoka. I'm a chief curator at the Mori Art Museum in Tokyo. And also I'm a curator for this North American tour of Ai Weiwei, According to What. Relationship with Ai Weiwei and this building is particularly important, and he's very pleased to be one of the first artists to have a solo show in this new space. I think his voice is very powerful in the way that he describes the importance of freedom of speech and basic human rights and human conditions in contemporary society. And because he has background of current Chinese political condition in society, and he's speaking out of that environment, I think it speaks to all of us. And when we look at this relationship with artists and how artists could do in a changing society in the most creative way, in the most powerful way, I think there are a lot of things that we can learn from what he does and what he says.
Ai Weiwei was very interested in this building and thought a lot about the installation and how it would dialogue with these spaces. He particularly wanted to present a new and significant work for this exhibition, which is an installation called Stacked, which includes over 700 bicycles that is presented in an area in front of these large windows overlooking the bay.
It's interesting to look at some of these large numbers that often appears in Ai Weiwei's works. We have 700 bikes, 98 photographs, 38 tons of steel rebars, and 7,000 images. Because in China, the number of population is so big, the value of the one becomes lesser than the larger numbers. So it's always important to see the collective values and the power of these collective values, but also at the same time we need to pay attention to individualism.
Ai Weiwei is really a leading figure talking about human rights and the role of the artist and the individual in society. He's very much struggling and wrestling with kind of a post-communist China, or a China that's really in a moment of transition. And we felt that situation and his political activism within a difficult regime would have a dialogue with many people's experience in our public. The decision to show this exhibition of Ai Weiwei really is involved with our commitment to talking about the relationship between art and social responsibility, political issues, and also to really develop an international program to think about the relationship between a place like Miami, which is a new city and a growing city, a place in transition, and creating a dialogue between this context and a context like Beijing, like China, which is very much a culture that is really wrestling with the past, looking to the future, and very much involved in a dynamic moment of change. Ai Weiwei is a figure who really believes in the honor of the individual and the role of the artist in fighting for a better society, and the role of the individual. And that's something that we very much would like to discuss and promote within our program.